When people look at the opportunity in social media, I would say there's really three things that they can do right away. And let's look at the three major platforms, which I would say are Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. On Twitter, using search.twitter.com, you can search for people's keywords all across the Twitter platform. There's 100 million people on Twitter today. It's a lot of people on Twitter. You can search for a phrase like, for example, I need new insurance. And you can find people all over the place who might be tweeting that particular phrase. And the most interesting part about it is that you can send a reply to anybody on Twitter, whether you're following them or they're following you or not.
But just let's jump right in. There's 100 million people on Twitter today. Are most of them wasting their time? Absolutely. There's a lot of people singing the praises of social media these days. Is most of it just a bunch of hype? You bet. You bet. Meanwhile, there are a few people and businesses that are using some pretty simple but powerful strategies to just, explode their businesses virtually overnight. That is happening, right? Those stories do exist. They're real. Most people are wasting their time, but a few people are just killing it. The economy is not doing very well, and Google search traffic is up 11-fold. Guys, this is coming our way. Does that make sense? Some percentage of people are searching for whatever it is you do online. This is crazy. Like, Facebook has over 500 million. This country has 300 million people in it, right? If Facebook was a country, it would be the third largest. It would go China, India, Facebook, the United States. Right? That's a lot of people. The people are using this stuff. And YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet if you grade them by the number of search queries per day. YouTube services over 2 billion videos watched per day right now. Are any of those videos yours? Are any of those videos about what you do? Guys, the people are on YouTube whether you're there or not, right? YouTube is what I call a raging river, right? It's an online destination with tons of traffic. Right, so how do we get in front of that traffic? Right, these are kind of the new realities. And this is no surprise to any of you, right? You've all heard this before. 90% of people trust recommendations from friends. That's no surprise. 70% of people trust recommendations that are posted online, which is only interesting because that didn't exist 10 years ago. But look at the bottom. 14% trust traditional advertising, newspaper, radio, TV, magazines. 14%. So if people trust recommendations from friends, how do we get people talking about your business? How do we get people talking about what you do? Well, that's what social media is all about. Social media are online destinations where conversations are taking place, right? So how do we seed that and get those conversations moving? Well, everything we're going to talk about boils down to really three words, okay? And this is important. Conversations are markets. Okay, just think conceptually about this. Conversations are markets. What does that mean? It means that if you want to find your market on the internet, you got to participate in the conversation, which implies two steps, right? You got to find the conversation first, and then you have to participate in it. But that's what builds awareness, and awareness leads to interest, and interest leads to demand. But it starts with awareness. If they don't know you exist, that's where it ends, right? When you participate in the conversation, they realize that you exist. That's step one, right? So what's at the center, right? What's at the center of your online identity, okay? It's your blog. But the deal is, if you have a blog or a website, you'll know that driving traffic to your website is difficult. It's difficult. It takes time. It can be expensive. Meanwhile, there's 100 million people on Twitter, right? Introduce yourself here first, and then bring them back. Introduce yourself on Facebook, then bring them back to your blog. Introduce yourself on YouTube, and then bring them back. It's easier. It's faster. It's a lot more effective. Right? So what you end up with is something that looks more like this, right? Where you're meeting people on all these raging rivers, the raging river called Twitter, the raging river called Facebook. And then if they care what you're doing there, they can click through and learn more about you. Right? How do you work smart? How do you leverage the content you already have? Guys, step number one, internet marketing, get yourself a juicy, sexy PDF report that you can give away for free. Just make it, right? An 8-page, value added, it's not a sales pitch, give value away, right? You can use it in 1,000 different places. This is just one of them, okay? But get yourself a juicy, sexy giveaway. And it calls to action, right? Your contact information's all over it, right? Links to your website. But provide some value. Give it away for free. It's a really nice way to make an introduction, rather than always pitching, pitching, pitching. Does that make sense?
So let's take a look at Facebook. On Facebook, I would say the biggest opportunity is to tag people in photos. Because if I took a photo of you, and I tagged you in that photo, and put that photo on my Facebook page, it's going to show up on my Facebook page, that's where I put it. But it's also going to show up on your profile as photos uploaded by others. That means that I can put a photo into your profile by tagging you in the photo. And it's going to do something else. It's going to end up on the wall, okay, on your wall. So it's going to say, let's say your name's Jennifer. It's going to say Jennifer was tagged in a photo. And there's going to be the photo. So for example, if I had a wine tasting and I took photos of people at the wine tasting, I could upload those photos and tag people in those photos, and it's going to end up in all these people's profiles. If I was doing manicures and pedicures, I could take photos of their hands or their toes and tag those people and brand the photos and put them up on Facebook. Imagine how your business would change if you had 100 photos in different people's profiles and those photos were all advertisements for your business.
Facebook's killing it, right? There's tons of stuff. So let's talk about the facilities on Facebook, okay? You can have a profile. Most of you have profiles. They're for individuals. Profiles have friends, right? You can have a group, or you can have a page. Pages are specifically designed for people, public figures, and businesses. Pages have 0 hurdles, right? That means you don't have to be logged in. What does that mean? It means there's no firewall, guys. It's indexed by Google. Right? Do you think Facebook ranks high on Google? Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge website. Facebook ranks high on Google. So get yourself a page. It makes sense. There's some companies that only have a page. They don't even have a website anymore because they get so much exposure. I'm not a fan of that, by the way. I like having a website. But the point is that having a Facebook page is powerful.
YouTube is a fascinating platform. It's actually the second largest search engine on the internet today if you grade them by the number of search queries per day. And people are on YouTube whether you're there or not. The bottom line is there's millions of people on YouTube and they're searching for content, and they can find your content if you have it there to be found.
YouTube is my favorite. YouTube is the central cog in my wheel. Turns out the biggest category of new content is educational content. So I did some screen captures here. WordPress tutorials. WordPress, by the way, is a platform where you can build a blog. By the way, it's free. If you want to learn how to do it, go to YouTube. There's 4,000 videos telling you how to do it. Business marketing, right? Look at this first video. Small business marketing coach. What's this guy doing? This is marketing, right? How many of you are business coaches, right? Stock market investing. Look at this first video. Tips for the complete beginner. What's going on here? Right? These guys are finding clients. What videos can you make? Right? Well, here's what you're going to need. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? You can get a flip digital video recorder, 120 bucks, 130 bucks. If you're going to go one step up, I recommend getting something that supports an external microphone. Biggest complaint on YouTube videos is bad sound quality. So get one with an external microphone. And see, here's what happens, right? People don't make the YouTube videos because they're like, I don't like the way I look on video, right? I have a virtual assistant that I've worked with for almost 2 years now. Her name's Uma. She lives in India. And when we first started working together, she sent me an email, and it said, "Sir," she always says, "Sir, you look fat in your videos." I couldn't believe it. So I just got to know her. I was like, holy smokes. She's right. Video tends to add 10 pounds. It does. I tend to look chubby in my videos. Who cares? If you look too good, they think you're a model. And they think it's fake. So don't worry about it. Just get your stuff out there. And the only thing that really matters is, what is your content? What is your message? What's your purpose? Why are you here, right? Guys, this opportunity is now. Do you guys get it? It's not going to be this way forever. Most people don't understand this stuff. Right? If you do something now, there's an amazing opportunity to just blow it out. There's an opportunity. So what's your content? Right? What do you do that's remarkable? What's your message? That's what you can share on these social media platforms. And take advantage of this stuff. So I'm one of these guys, I love quotes, right? I love cool quotes. I'll end with, this is one of my favorite quotes. The future is already here. It just isn't evenly distributed yet. This is here. Some people are using this stuff, most people aren't. So I hope that just think about it. I hope that maybe you have some ideas now that you didn't have an hour ago. And get your stuff out there. You'd be surprised how it can change your life. You'd be surprised how quickly it can change your life.